Welcome to BBC World News. Our first story today will be covered by my co-anchor, Kendall Briholber.
Our first story of the day comes to us from a little town in South Africa where a worldwide show event is taking place. My news intern, Schmitty, has the story.
Hi, I'm Smitty. Welcome to BBC News. Today we're here live in Africa where the Where Would You Rather Live game show is being hosted. Here, Sub-Saharan Africa and North Africa faced off in a rivalry. We have some footage from the show. Oh, welcome Ambassador from Sub-Saharan Africa. You're the first one here. Looks like you get an extra bonus point.
Wow, doesn't surprise me that they're not too. I've been waiting forever for freaking North Africa. Where are they?
Sorry I'm late. Got held up by some protests out there.
That's wonderful. I had some stew.
Welcome, gentlemen. It's an honor to have you as guests at our game show today. We would like to start the questions by starting off with our first. Do you have any outbreaks?
Well, I'll start off with that one. We had minor ones, if you could say that. A little mosquito problem, but it should be fixed.
Any problems with malaria from the mosquito infestation?
If I remember correctly, Sub-Saharan Africa had a very bad outbreak of disease.
Many deaths with that outbreak?
Yeah, there were.
That's tragic.
Do you have any outbreaks?
I don't know. We're in a dry area. We don't get mosquitoes.
Excuse me for not living in the desert. Next question.
Okay. Any important trade routes?
I'll start this one.
Okay.
Well, we have the Nile River, which is great for trading, and we also trade in ports up near the Middle East and Europe. It works out pretty well for us.
Interesting.
Well, unlike them, who has one measly river, we have several. We have major rivers that connect from West Africa to the Congo, from South Africa to Kenya. So basically, we can all trade with each other, unlike you, who has no allies.
And your transportation systems throughout those waterways?
They're mostly boat-friendly.
No problems with oil spilling into your river and water supplies?
Not that I know of. Next question, please.
What about economic opportunity?
I'd say our countries, we do pretty well off livestock. Yeah, that's about it.
But you can only get there if you live in Egypt, so I wouldn't plan on going to North Africa for business, but we have lots of economic opportunity in Africa, which is one of our most developed countries in the whole continent. And there's lots of Western cities in West Africa that are just waiting for a millionaire to come in.
Perhaps someone from Egypt with their gold?
That could be a great opportunity for them if they wanted to
A
get
business partnership sounds like could be in the future. Next question. Any conflicts?
Well, we do have a few small revolutions, I guess you could call them.
Uprisings, actually. Major protests. Libya's leader was murdered.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. They
Muammar
were just
Gaddafi.
Small protests.
Muammar Gaddafi, the U.S. helped.
So in other words, you try to minimize the negatives and focus mainly on the positives and the future of your country.
Yes, certainly.
Okay. Gun conflicts?
I didn't answer the question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I see favoritism there. Because you're Muslim, isn't it? Anyway,
Perhaps because they're such a more established country, they feel certain, I don't know, what's the word?
Anyway, yes, we do have conflicts, but mostly unarmed conflicts. Whereas we do not kill our own people with machinery.
Do you kill others with machinery?
No, we use spears.
What about your problems with the diamonds and the corrupt governments in your country?
I've heard a lot about blood rubies, blood diamonds. Would you like to elaborate on that?
That is from our own civil wars, freeing us from what is it called? Freeing us from our corrupt establishments where they oppress their own people. Just
So in
as
other
in
words-
the apartheid, but we got rid of that,
Okay.
whereas they didn't.
Okay, so when you're maybe you don't have the upper hand in your country, and you're pretty much forced to abide by any rules or be murdered, I would say the methods that you use are very limited. Perhaps people in Egypt would like the same opportunity. Maybe if they could find resources, they could establish themselves as
Next
being
question.
equal maybe to Africa one day.
Next question.
We already talked about gun conflicts. How about agriculture?
I'll start off with this one.
Corn, livestock.
Okay. We'll start off with this one. Mostly in sub-Saharan Africa, because of our rainforest-like climate and our Saharan climate, we can grow lots of corn and we can help livestock live enough and keep them healthy enough so we can eat them and feed our families. So I recommend, if you enjoy the farm life and raising animals and crops, you should move to sub-Saharan Africa.
What about wild animals? Do wild animals encroach on the human population and maybe destroy a lot of your economic development through the raising of livestock?
Not if you're not in Kenya, where they have zoned off parks for elephants and grazing animals such as wildebeest.
I was thinking of lions and tigers. Y'all don't have that problem in Africa.
We have leopard problems, but they're taken care of.
How do you take care of them?
Tribe shooting.
Oh, so they do use... Interesting. Not bats?
Excuse me, tribe hunts.
Oh.
North Africa.
Well, for agriculture in my region, we don't have much of it since it's kind of a very dry, and
Barren.
arid area. But we do have livestock, and we do that throughout the desert region. And we do grow occasional crops, but that's about it.
And then
What
we
about
have
cotton? Have you ever tried to grow cotton since it grows best in sunny, arid environments?
We could probably grow that up north, but we don't grow much of it.
That would maybe be an avenue to explore. Doesn't take much water. Lubbock, Texas used to do real good with cotton. Any other last ending notations you'd like to add?
Oh, yes. In sub-Saharan Africa, if you move from America, $2 American with no debt can keep you basically 1% of the population, which is the wealthiest. So if you're from America, please have a condo set up. Primarily Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, thank you for your cordial interview and appreciate the time that you've taken from your busy schedules. We all wish you luck.
Vote for Sub-Saharan Africa.
Excuse me, North Africa, please.
She's not important.
Well, that's it for the Where Would You Rather Live game show. As you can see, things got pretty heated between North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. But really, it's up to the world to decide where they would rather live. But personally, I'd rather live in North Africa. Well, that's all. Bye, folks. Thanks for watching.